Chatters. I'm Nat.
And I'm Kat, and welcome to the Crime Chat. I am your forensic femme fatale. Natalie is your true crime addict connoisseur.
We're just two normal girls obsessed with dark crimes, evil minds, and occasionally the unknown.
And here's your disclaimer, Chatters. The following crime chat contains adult content and descriptions of probably screaming violent scenarios today, so your listener discretion is advised.
Yes, you've been warned. But before we get into today's crime chat, Kat, what have you been up to?
Got a couple movies watched.
I think we both do. First tell me your movies.
Okay. So we watched Sinners.
Oh my God. Okay.
Did you watch it?
I watched that a while ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But what'd you think?
Loved it. And no wonder. Wasn't Michael B. Jordan nominated for something for that movie? Because he plays the twin. He plays the two roles. But
I don't know.
Brilliant. As far as a vampire movie goes, like the vampire movie part of it is just it's kind of a small part of the overall story, which I love. It doesn't overshadow kind of the plot.
I love the spin. I love the musical spin.
Yeah.
Where like people in all different cultures have that ability to sing or play music that connects like world, like I guess how they describe it, like out of this world type of vibe or something, and they can connect to spirits of their ancestors, and sometimes the evil gets in, and I was like, that's a really cool concept. I like that.
Yeah, and that one of the really cool scenes when they were in the barn having the party, and you had the music from all generations. That just kind of how they did that artistically was great. It was great. Yeah. So 2 thumbs up. Fine family fun.
Yeah.
And then the other one we watched is a new movie that came out, I think on Prime. It's called The Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
It's got Jason Momoa and David Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any previews for it? I think it just came out.
I want to say I've seen previews, but I've never seen it, so no.
It's good. It's good. Good action movie. I mean, and you've got Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. And let me tell you, Dave Bautista with he's got a gray beard in the movie. Ooh, a little bit of a silver fox. Yeah.
Yeah?
Looks good. It looks good on him. It suits him.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Very much so. And then I don't remember if I had told you I finished reading American Psycho.
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay.
Did you watch the movie?
Have not watched the movie yet, but I don't get the ending.
American Psycho?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really remember. I actually know what I'm saying. I never read the book, but I don't remember the movie ending either.
But I mean, obviously, it's like he just kind of. Maybe the tension and the climax to it is it's like he's about to get caught, but it's like when it ends, it just kind of ends in his same fucked up brain. There's like no resolution or like. The denouement is what they call it, the ending. There's nothing. There's nothing. It's just like, at least that's what I didn't get.
You gotta watch the movie and tell me if it ends the same way. I don't remember.
I'm probably gonna go back and maybe like read kind of the ending again, just because I want to make sure that like I didn't miss anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I also I want to do that before I watch the movie. Because maybe it is. Maybe it just like he gets away with it and then lives his life. Goes on about it. Like, okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they were hinting at. Like, he's just going to disappear.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Well, that's pretty much it. Getting ready for school to start. And I'm going to be reading a lot of modernist era. It's a literature class. So we're going to be doing like close readings and analysis of like, post-World War I, World War II, and how, like, society and politics, all that affected the literature, what we consider, like, classic literature today. Yeah. So my first assignment is on Stephen Crane, one of his short stories, and Ernest Hemingway, which I've studied Ernest Hemingway, I want to say it was last year, in one of my other literature classes. So
went to his house.
Yeah, in Key West.
Hemingway. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice. It's so they have that cats. His cats, right, are still. So he's got a line, like a breed of cats that have like I want to say 6 or 7 toes. Like it's a crazy, weird gene, and he's got like 100 cats. Like it's a cat house, but it's so cute. Yeah, it's nice.
It's snowing and it's cold and it's gonna be even more fluff tomorrow, but it'll be gone by like Monday, Tuesday. So.
Yeah, as you can see, we both are wearing our sweaters. Mine says, "Yes, I'm cold." Yes, I'm still cold. It's freezing. It's
I've
cold.
got my husband's fire department sweatshirt.
Those are the best. Those are the most comfy.
It's big and soft.
Yeah, those. I don't know what I guess the company they use, but it's just like durable. It's comfy. It's all those good things.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I watched a movie called Lake Mungo. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Really good movie.
Lake Mungo. Okay.
Lake Mungo. So it's been out for quite some time. It's like a low budget, what do they call that when they're recording, like a documentary style?
Oh, okay, yeah. Like Blair Witch
movie
thing.
Yes. Well, it's more documentary. People are getting interviewed and all that stuff.
Okay.
And it's about a girl who went missing, was found dead in a lake, right? And it was her story. And there's so many twists and turns that are truly creepy. And it goes back to, you don't need a lot of money to really write a good story.
Yeah.
That the plot is not what it starts out at first. At the end of the movie, you're in a completely different state, like a completely different area. You're like, wait a minute, we started here. This was the story. How the hell did we end up over here?
How do we go from A to Z?
Yeah. But it's really good. I recommend it.
Oh, okay.
It's really creepy.
Ugh.
And that's about it. And I just freaked my butt off.
Yeah. Cold around here. Oh, my son had told me out in California, he sent me a picture of his dashboard. It's 84 degrees.
Oh,
there.
God.
And I'm like,
did you tell him that Florida is like having a existential crisis right now?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's like there's so much cold over here. It like absorbed all of the cold everywhere and just like plopped it down here. And plopped it on the East Coast. He's like, I wish it was snowing here. Where he's at, it just stays pretty much like even keeled all year long. So
very nice.
Well, for your story today, we're doing a movie versus reality. Yay! We haven't done these in a while.
Well, you told me to make it lighter because we've been going heavy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not lighter, but it's lighter. I don't know. It's murder, but I don't know. But I'll try it.
Well, next episodes, I tried to do a lighter spin, but it's still a heavy story. This is what we're about. But for today's movie versus reality, you wanted me to do an intro on the Scream Queen cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
And obviously, by our background, we are doing Scream.
Mm-hmm.
So a Scream Queen refers to actresses who become iconic for their roles in horror films, typically portraying characters who are either the first to die, a recurring victim, or what's called the final girl who fights back. Initially emerging as a damsel in distress archetype in the 1930s, this role has evolved for nearly a century into a symbol of resilience, often reflecting broader feminist movements and cultural shifts. So here's some ear-piercing, get it, facts about Scream Queen phenomena. So we're going to start with origins and evolution. Fay Wray is widely considered the first Scream Queen thanks to her iconic performance in King Kong from 1933. She reportedly spent an entire day just recording different variations of her screams for the film. And in doing so, she paved the way for women in horror as she was held aloft in a flowing silk dress by a giant gorilla. However, she actually did grow to resent the term Scream Queen.
Oh, okay.
Janet Leigh, who starred as Marion Crane in Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 Psycho, is regarded as one of the most iconic, breaking the mold by becoming a victim within the first act, and it's known as the mother of the slasher queen. Although the scene was regarded as so visceral at the time, the scene doesn't show much violence by today's standards, and she mainly had to scream and slump in the shower with chocolate sauce running down her body. And it's in black and white, right? So you can't tell, but it's chocolate sauce. The crown for the ultimate Scream Queen is definitely Jamie Lee Curtis, daughter of Janet Leigh, launching her career as the badass Laurie Strode in Halloween movies. The first one was in 1978. Early Scream Queens were often one-dimensional, passive victims. As feminism rose in the 1900s, these characters evolved into strong, resourceful survivors who frequently defeated their tormentors. Okay, and the next part is famous faces and roles. Talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. So not only does she carry the legacy of her mother, Janet Leigh, but it was also acknowledged her Scream Queen status by starring in Ryan Murphy's television series, Scream Queens. Did you ever watch that?
We did a long time ago.
Yeah. It's obviously it's not running anymore. I never watched it. I wanted to because I think Julia Roberts' niece is in it. Emma Roberts, I think she's in it as well.
I think so too. Yeah.
Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis also appeared together in The Fog, 1980, and then Halloween H2O 20 years later in 1998. Linnea Quigley became a staple of the 1980s low-budget horror, known for her roles in Return of the Living Dead, 1985, and Night of the Demons, 1988, earning her the title of Queen of the Bees for B-roll movies, or B-rated movies. She was quoted saying, "It's really boring to play the good, nice girl." As far as modern Scream Queens, actresses like Neve Campbell in Scream, Mia Goth from X and Pearl, and Jenna Ortega from also Scream, and Wednesday, they have modernized the title by playing self-aware, complex, and sometimes villainous characters. Neve Campbell kind of became a victim of typecasting to play just like a Scream Queen, and this resulted in her choice to leave Hollywood for a few years. I don't know if you knew, like, she had stepped down. Obviously, she's back. But that's kind of was her reasoning for stepping away. She felt like she was getting typecasted.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore became one of the most famous Scream Queens with only 12 minutes of screen time in the original Scream from 1996 as a one-scene icon, subverting expectations by killing off a major star early. She actually had the lead role, but loved the opening so much that she requested to play Casey Becker instead. I didn't know that. Vera Farmiga is considered one of the modern queens of horror due to her roles in the horror fair, like TV series Bates Motel. Loved that series.
Yeah.
In films Orphan, and then, of course, the Conjuring series.
Yes. She's a beautiful woman, and she really made Miss Bates look great. I mean, let's face it. When we think Miss Bates, we don't think she's that pretty.
And here's a couple of interesting notes. I mentioned the Final Girl earlier. So Final Girl versus the Scream Queen. While sometimes they are used interchangeably, the Final Girl is the last one standing and is a specific subtrope of the larger Scream Queen label. Prior to films such as Halloween, where the female lead physically fights back against her killer, Scream Queens were usually just damsels in distress. The term Final Girl was coined in Carol Clover's 1992 book called Men, Women, and Chainsaws, Gender in the Modern Horror Film. So Carol Clover notes that many of her early Final Girls conquer their attacker through chance more than anything. She argues that female characters in revenge films, such as I Spit on Your Grave, have you seen that series?
Yes.
God.
That's great.
They are closer to being heroes since their victory requires planning and meditation to conquer their enemies. She also views female-led horror films as a venue for men to step into women's shoes and get a dose of feminine masochism. Okay, next one is real-life horror. Actress Danielle Harris, who played Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5, Laurie Strode's niece, she was actually stalked in real life by a fan in the 1990s, blurring the line between her on-screen and off-screen life.
Ooh.
Scary.
Yeah.
Fashion moments. Iconic Scream Queens are known for their style, from the classic slasher lingerie to blood-spattered, memorable outfits. And then the Scream King. There is a thing as the Scream King. In recent years, the community has pushed for the term Scream King to recognize male actors who excel in the genre, often citing Matthew Lillard as the top contender.
Who is that?
So Matthew Lillard was the one in Scream. when
In the
he got
newer one?
stabbed, no, in the original one, he's the tall guy. He got stabbed in the side. And he goes,
okay.
"You went too deep, man.
Yeah. Yes.
I
Okay.
think I'm dying." So the Scream Queen has transformed from a cinematic trope of the female helplessness into a symbol of resilience and box office power. While pioneers like Fay Wray established the role through vocal range, modern icons have used the archetype to subvert expectations, turning the victim into the celebrated final girl who outsmarts her pursuers. Today, the title is a prestigious badge of honor in Hollywood, bridging the gap between high art performances and cult classic status. Ultimately, the phenomenon endures because it taps into the primal science of fear while reflecting changing societal views on female agency. And
Very
that's your
cool.
intro.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's amazing how that just came about in Hollywood. It really is.
Well, I mean, if you think about just that, the screen, I don't know how else to say it. There's when the actor or actress, when they nail it, you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel that fear that they're facing, that they're seeing.
You know, there's a famous scream in Hollywood that you hear in all the movies. It's called the Willem scream.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows who actually recorded it. They don't know whose voice it is, but it's it's in every movie. Like it's a guy screaming at a very high pitch.
Yeah.
And it's usually when people are falling off a building, it's like and but it's the most famous scream and you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
But they don't know who the guy is. They don't know who it is.
Huh.
Can you play it?
I'm going to see if I can find it. A famous stock sound effect of a high-pitched, pain-filled yell used in over 400 films and TV shows since 1951, typically when a character is shot, falls from a height, or is thrown.
Can you play it? Right? Sounds familiar?
Yeah.
They have a whole documentary on it on YouTube on they try to find out the origin of it, but it's so crazy how they don't have the origin. There's conspiracies, but they truly don't have the actor. And too bad, because that guy would be, I mean, seriously, how much money he would have made by
that scream.
All right. So today we are going to, as you can see, we're going to do a movie versus reality. Going to have some fun, a little bit of fun. But before I get into this crime, there was a movie that didn't just scare people. It taught audiences how to think about fear.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1996, the movie Scream, directed by Wes Craven, changed the slasher genre by making its character aware they were inside the horror movie.
Yeah.
Instead of running blindly, the characters talked openly about rules, laying them out like a survival guide, and unintentionally like a blueprint. So one character in particular, Randy Meeks, famously explains the rules for the surviving horror movie, which was in Scream 1. He said, "You may not survive if you have sex. You may not survive if you drink alcohol or do drugs. You may not survive if you say, 'I'll be right back.'"
I'll be right back.
These rules were meant as dark humor, a way to keep audiences on the edge by pointing out familiar horror cliches. The third rule, which Randy never fully explains, is an inside joke for his horror fans, a nod to the idea that the killer always comes back for one final scare, no matter how finished the story seems. It reflects the built-in impossibility of ever truly ending a horror franchise. And this franchise has been going and going.
And there's another one coming out next year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the recent ones? No. So the last I watched, I want to say it was Scream 7. I don't know, but Jenna Ortega was in it, and Neve Campbell had come back in that one to play Sidney Prescott. Yeah.
I'll watch up to 3. And then after that, it's kind of done for me. That's why, even the Halloween stuff, I really appreciate the older ones. And once they go too far with it, it's just it's just Hollywood trying to squeeze the lemon again.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I don't like the Marvel stuff. It's overdone. It's it's not really original anymore. When the originality stops and they're just regurgitating, they lose me. Totally lost me. So, So beyond the survival rules, Scream also pushed a darker idea in the background. that murder can be staged. The killers plan scenes, control lighting, and make taunting phone calls and talk openly about becoming famous for what they do. Violence is not shown as chaotic or tragic. It's framed, it's clever, it's dramatic, and it's unforgettable.
Oh, yeah.
So for most viewers, these ideas stayed exactly where they belonged, on a movie screen. But for two teenagers obsessed with horror and notoriety, those rules didn't feel like jokes or storytelling devices. No, they felt like instructions. And this is where we get into our story. So, in the fall of 2006, these movies' rules collided with real life in Pocatello, Idaho. 16-year-old Casey Jo Stockard was house sitting for her aunt and uncle, caring for their dogs in what should have been a safe, quiet home. She was a kind, trusted high school junior doing a very simple favor for her family. That same night, two classmates also knew that she was going to be home alone. Mm-hmm. And they put the horror script into motion, turning fiction into one of the most disturbing crimes the town has ever known.
Wow.
Now, Casey Jo Stockard was born on December 21st, 1989, and grew up in a steady working-class family in Idaho. Friends described her as gentle and dependable and almost unusually kind for her age. During her childhood, her parents separated, and she moved between her mother Anna's home and her father Jeff's home. But despite this, like living, kind of going back and forth between her parents, like she maintained a healthy relationship with both of them. And both homes were stable and loving, and she had a pretty good childhood and upbringing.
Good.
By the fall of 2006, Casey was a junior at Ponticello High School. She enjoyed school, spending time with friends, and her new boyfriend, Matt Beckham. Her life revolved around schoolwork, movies, shopping with friends, and family. Teachers, classmates, and relatives consistently described her as honest, kind, and responsible. If Casey had a flaw, it was that she trusted people too easily. She believed those around her meant well, even when they didn't. It's sad. It's really sad. She's 16. I mean, we were all like that when we were 16.
Yeah.
So in the same junior class were two boys she knew in the casual, everyday way, like, acquaintances. They knew of each other. They didn't hang out with each other.
Right.
Their names were Brian Lee Draper and Tori Michael Adamnik. They were not part of like a close inner circle. They weren't strangers, though. They saw each other at the school and they knew of each other. They did share mutual friends. But Brian and Tori, however, had a very tight bond with each other. They met as sophomores and quickly became inseparable. Both of them were deeply interested in movies and began filming their own homemade projects, discussing camera work and scenes in detail. I guess that was kind of like, that's fine. I had a friend I had a friend that was into this, like they was taking acting classes and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like he got like all the neighborhood kids to star in like a zombie movie. So we were like in the forest, like near our houses, and we all were like walking around that. It's you want to support them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But their strongest shared obsession was horror. They loved movies like Scream.
Yeah.
They didn't just enjoy being scared. They admired the idea of creating fear. The private videos, they recorded themselves speaking directly to the camera, and they even talked about wanting fame, notoriety, and the thrill of committing a real crime. Now, they referenced not only Scream's fictional killers, but also real ones like Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, when they were the Columbine killers.
I think I remember this. I think I remember hearing something about this because I remember, something. It's something.
Yeah, it's a pretty well-known case.
Yeah.
So now these were not just offhand jokes. They filmed themselves calmly discussing motives, plans, and targets as if creating a documentary about a crime they intended to commit. These videos are a little weird. They're a little shady. In those recordings, they also talked about a killing spree and creating a death list. Among the names were two people they knew from school, Matt Beckham and Casey Stockard. So on September 22nd, 2006, Casey's aunt and uncle, Allison and Frank, asked her to house sit and watch their dogs for the weekends. Casey treated it like an adult responsibility. The home was on Whispering Cliffs Drive, which was a quiet little neighborhood. She planned, when she got there, she was going to do her homework. She was going to watch some TV. She possibly invite her boyfriend over. Mm-hmm. Nothing dangerous, just typical teenage stuff,
Yeah.
So once she was at the house, she settled in. She started watching TV. Matt ended up meeting her there.
Okay.
They started working on homework together, and they relaxed. Later that evening, there was a knock at the door. She looked out the window, and to her surprise, she saw Brian and Tori. They said that they were in the neighborhood, and they had overheard a friend mention that Matt was with her tonight, so they decided to stop by and say hello. Now, they're not technically friends with Matt, but I guess, I don't know. They're 16. They're probably saying, oh, wow, friends.
Okay, yeah.
Casey invited them in and gave them a friendly tour of the house, including the basement. Now, that innocent tour told the boys exactly what they needed to know. Matt was there at the time, but he said that he needed to get home. Mm-hmm. So they knew that she was going to be spending the night alone.
Right.
Before leaving the basement, Brian walked over to the basement door, the door that leads outside, like one of those iron doors.
Yeah.
He unlocked it so he can re-enter later.
Oh.
The 4 teens went upstairs to watch the movie Kill Bill 2 or Kill Bill 1. I love that movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Eventually, Brian and Tori said that they were heading downtown to catch a movie, so they had to go.
Mm-hmm.
They left the house. They parked down the street. They changed their clothes into this dark, sweatshirt, dark pants. They put on gloves. They put on a mask, white masks, and they waited. They waited for Matt to leave.
Oh.
But before that, I think they were trying to have some fun with the couple. So Matt said that after they left, strange things started happening in that house. Like the lights were flickering. Mm-hmm. They would turn on, turn off. They didn't know why. I guess they were too young to think, like, let me check the breaker box.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And they weren't thinking. They were just like, oh, why is it off? Turn it back on. Another thing he said is that one of the dogs that they were watching was standing at the basement door upstairs and was growling.
Oh, that went down to the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would freak me out. I know.
They got a sixth sense about that.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie felt uneasy. Matt tried to stay the night to comfort her, but his mother said, absolutely not. You get your butt home.
Yeah.
Hell no. Like, she offered instead to, bring Cassie to her house. But Cassie's like, no, I promised my aunt and uncle that I would watch the house.
Yeah.
Watch their dog, Yeah. So around 10:30 p.m., Matt left, and he assumed that Cassie would be fine. What he didn't know was that Brian and Tori were inside the house, and they were hiding in the basement.
Yeah.
They first tried to lure Cassie downstairs by making noises and shutting off the circuit breaker again and turning the lights off and all this stuff. But she didn't come down. And I understand this because this has happened to me. Somebody played a trick like this on me before.
Oh no.
And I didn't go downstairs.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that. I don't know. I don't know.
Didn't you say Jimmy did that to you?
Oh yeah. So when the movie The Ring came out, my husband was and it freaked me out. He said, it was just a brilliant trick, but he did the breaker box downstairs, and nope, I'll sit in the dark. I'll run out of the house. No way. When she did not go downstairs, they decided, you know what, we're going to go upstairs. And when they got upstairs, Cassie was laying on the living room couch when they jumped in and attacked her with knives that they brought. She was stabbed repeatedly in a sudden and violent assault.
Aww.
The wounds were severe and they were numerous. Later medical examination determined that multiple injuries would have been fatal on their own.
Okay.
Now, immediately after doing this, they fled the scene.
Mm-hmm.
They buried their clothing, the mask, and the weapons in a canyon and attempted to go back to normal life. Nothing happened. We have an alibi. We were going to the movies. We told Matt that.
Yeah.
On September 24th, 2006, when Allison and Frank got home, that's when the horrifying scene was discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie had been there for 2 days. Like,
oh boy.
where was her mother? Why wasn't anybody checking in on her? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. She had been stabbed approximately 30 times, 9 of the wounds being fatal. Investigators found no sign of forced entry, no murder weapon, ruling out a robbery, and launching a homicide investigation. Because Matt was the last person to see Cassie alive, he was initially considered the person of interest. He explained that the power had been flickering, and this frightened both of them. He said that he had asked his mother if he could stay the night because of, the lights and all this stuff.
Right.
But she refused. Now, Matt also passed the polygraph test about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Investigators found fingerprints near the circuit breaker that led them to the boyfriend of Cassie's mother, which is weird, a weird connection. He explained that he had done electrical work at the house months earlier, and that's why his fingerprints were in the breaker box. Like, it's not exactly a high-traffic area where people are always constantly touching. So, yeah, the electrician would have fingerprints on that.
Yeah.
And this was confirmed by the aunt and uncle saying, yeah, he did work for us, and we haven't touched the box since. Matt also told investigators that Brian and Tori had visited the house that night. When questioned, the boys initially claimed that they had gone to the movie theater. That was a lie. Like, they weren't even, they even denied going there.
Oh, they denied being there at all?
Everything.
Oh, okay.
But when pressed further, Brian said that they had been burglarizing cars that night. And before taking a polygraph, Brian confessed initially, but he minimized his role, of course.
It wasn't my idea. It wasn't me.
Exactly. He admitted that they wore masks, entered through the basement, shut the power down to scare Cassie and Matt. He claimed that Tori stabbed Cassie. Brian led police to the burial site of the evidence, including the videotape of them confessing.
Oh.
The restored footage revealed the videos of both boys discussing their inspiration from the Scream movie and the planning of the murder.
We're here in his car. The time is 9:50, September 22nd, 2006. Unfortunately, we have the grueling task of killing our 2 friends, and they are right in that house just down the street.
We just talked to them. We were there for an hour. But
we checked out the whole house. We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide. I locked the back doors. It's all locked. Now we just gotta wait. And we're really nervous right now. But, we're ready.
Yeah.
Tori blamed Brian. Brian later admitted he stabbed Cassie at Tori's instruction. I mean, they're just throwing each other under the bus.
Why would you record yourself planning a murder?
16-year-old brain. The stupidity.
What?
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah. 5 days after the murder, on September 27th, 2006, both were arrested and charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Brian and Tori were tried separately. Brian was convicted on April 17, 2007, and Tori was convicted on June 8, 2007. On August 21st, 2007, both were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 30 years to life for conspiracy. Numerous appeals followed. All were denied. Brian is currently incarcerated in Idaho State Correctional Institution in Kuna, Idaho. Tori is serving his sentence at Idaho Maximum Security Institution in the same area, Kuna. In the years after, Cassie's family created Pumpkins for Cassie, a charity effort that supports the local animal shelter and food banks. Love that.
Yeah.
Books, documentaries, and television specials later retold the story. The recovered tapes were released to the public, offering chilling proof of how fantasy turned to violence.
Yeah.
In the movie, the horror ends when the screen goes black and the credits roll. Scream joked about rules and warns that the killer is usually somebody you know. It treated fear like a game, something clever and survivable. But for Cassie, this wasn't a movie. This was a real teenager who trusted, stayed behind out of responsibility, and never thought fiction could follow her home.
Yeah.
There was no reset, no sequel, just a quiet house, a family shattered, and a town changed forever. And that is my movie versus reality story. So, rest in peace, Kathy.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I know.
I mean,
it's terrifying.
It reminds me of, I mean, you could go back to, like, if you listen to metal, you're, like, Ozzy Osbourne biting off the head of a bat. You mean, like, you're a rule breaker.
They said that he did.
They said that he did, yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying, like, you get that, like, stereotype, or blaming it on something else. Satanic Panic, blaming it on something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, movies are there for entertainment, but that's all they are. You can't necessarily blame a movie for your actions. You're still responsible for your actions.
Yeah.
However horrifying they are.
I know.
Ugh.
That's terrible.
It is.
This is terrible.
Yeah, I kind of remember hearing that story. I didn't know the whole story, so thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And get better idols.
I know.
Make better choices, people.
Terrible. I know. Says the two girls that have a true crime podcast.
Well, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, so thank you.
I know.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. People are always going to screw up. And that's why I always said, like, when I worked in law enforcement, it was job security.
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to need, people are always going to fuck up.
Yeah. True. We wouldn't dream of leaving you hanging. For more chilling details and twists in this case and many others, check out After That Crime Chat, available exclusively on our Patreon.
And don't forget to follow us, Crime Chat with Nat Cat, on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Rumble, YouTube, see what we got going on.
Yes, if you want more chilling content and behind-the-scenes chaos, become a VIP chatter to our Patreon. You'll unlock bonus episodes, bloopers, exclusive sneak peeks, and even free merch. And yes, we've got some criminal goodies in the works, so support the show, fuel your obsession with the weird and the wicked, and join the Crime Chat chatter crew in style. Didn't skip the beat there.
Oh, you got that one. You nailed it, girl. Stick around for our next episode.
It's a cat episode.
Yeah. Pack your suitcase. We're going on a road trip.
Hey, okay.
Hey.
You don't want to miss it.
We'll see you next time at the Crime Chat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.